Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever Seeking Empath. I'm a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and today I wanted to figure out what you need to focus on. So I don't know if anyone else is feeling this, but I've been feeling like the energy lately has felt very scattered and just I have not been able to focus. I'm all over the place, and I just figured it would help to figure out where you need to focus your energy. So what do you need to focus on? So just so you know, this is a general reading, so it might not apply to everyone and everything might not resonate for you. So that's fine. Just take what resonates for your situation and disregard the rest. I also want to request, if you enjoy this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel so that you can see when I've posted new videos in the future. So we've got 3 piles today. Pile 1 is this little hedgehog. Pile 2 is this gnome. And pile 3 is this owl. So just use your intuition to guide you to whichever pile you're feeling drawn to. I do also have these messages of love oracle cards to use if any kind of love messages come out, but I wasn't initially intending this on being a love reading, but I do have those available if needed. But just take a deep breath, let your intuition guide you to a pile, and we're going to get started with pile number 1. Hi pile 1, so if you chose this hedgehog, then this is your message. So we're going to start with your tarot and oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out what you need to focus on. So for your tarot, you have the Chariot, King of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So I feel like maybe you're struggling to pick a direction, or you're struggling like for control over some issue, because the Chariot has to do with kind of overcoming obstacles, moving in a direction, and on this particular one, she can't really figure out which way to go. You know, she's feeling pulled in 2 different directions. And the King of Swords is very strategic. He uses his intellect to help to solve problems. He's very in control, but he's definitely very mind-focused, you know, very logical, analytical, that kind of thing. But then this Ace of Cups is very intuitive and creative and just emotionally open. So I'm wondering if maybe you're trying to stay in control of a situation because you are that analytical type, but you're struggling to kind of open up emotionally, and that's kind of what's holding you back. So maybe you need to put more effort into opening up your emotions. But let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have Moth Spirit, Surrender Now, number 39. Breathe, number 29. Stepping into Power, You Are Strong Beyond Measure. A New Romantic Cycle Begins, New Moon in Libra. A New Start is Coming, New Moon. Intuition, which says the power of intuition will light your path, providing a connection to the divine. And then finally, you have Grow, which says all flowers must grow through dirt. So yeah, I definitely feel like you need to maybe open up to your intuition a little bit more and maybe let your emotions take over once in a while, because with this Surrender Now card, I'm feeling like maybe you have a hard time just surrendering and letting go of control. And right now, I feel like maybe you're in a situation where you can't control the outcome entirely, or you can't control the step that you're at right now. So I think it's just telling you to kind of take a step back, breathe, use this time to kind of recharge, and just trust in your own strength. You know, you're stepping into your power, you're strong beyond measure. And I think you just need to trust yourself and trust every aspect of yourself. I feel like maybe you have a tendency to over-rely on your intellect, and I think right now it's saying your intuition might be more trustworthy at this point in time. So I also think that with that Ace of Cups, you also have a new romantic cycle begins. So I'm wondering if you are kind of moving towards a relationship and you're over-analyzing it, or you're trying to figure out what someone's thinking or whatever. And that's, you know, you can't do that in a relationship because not everything emotional can be analyzed in a logical way. And you also have a new start is coming. So I definitely think something new is coming for you if it hasn't started already. And I think maybe you're in the period of time where you don't really know what's coming or you don't know how it's going to turn out. But with this grow, all flowers must grow through dirt. I feel like it's just saying that this time you might feel like you're in the dark, but pretty soon you're going to be able to kind of come up out of the dirt and come into the light again, and you'll know why you had to go through what you did. But just, I think this is a time to try to focus on your emotions, trust your intuition, and try to maneuver that way rather than kind of over relying on your intellect to handle the situation. I do want to get you a Messages of Love card as well, because we've got that Ace of Cups and everything there. So yeah, what do you need to focus on, group one? Okay, yeah, all right. It's kind of what I was feeling. You got fate. This is a destined partnership. So with fate here, that's something out of your control. You know, that's like in the universe's hands at this point. So there's really nothing you can do to bring it about faster or to kind of manipulate the things around you into like having it happen before it's ready. So I feel like if you're in a period where you're waiting for something to happen, just trust the universe, take a step back, focus on yourself, get in touch with your emotions and your intuition, and know that this is coming, because I do think that you have a fated partnership on its way to you. So yeah, I just think that's the big message, is just focus on your intuition and trust your emotions. You know, try to kind of shut down that over analytical part of your brain. But I do want to see what your charms have to say here. So we are going to use the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group one, what do you need to focus on? Okay, so in the heart you got the shark. So that represents fears, and oftentimes fear being bigger than the situation itself. It can also be that kind of anticipatory fear. Like, I'm thinking if you just kind of picture the Jaws theme song happening, it's like you tend to kind of overthink yourself into a fear mindset. And I think that you need to kind of release that and move into a period of just trusting that whatever is meant to come to you will come to you. And I don't think that you can force this to happen any faster. I do think that what's coming is special, and I think that you need to trust that you're special as well. I feel like you know that you're intelligent and you're very good at analyzing, but I do think that you have trouble trusting your other qualities, and I think you need to trust the qualities that can't be quantified in yourself. So just know that you've got other things to offer to the world as well, and just maybe try to focus your attention on allowing that to grow as well, and kind of letting your intellect and your analysis take a back seat. This dragonfly symbolizes good luck and transformation. So I think that some really good things are coming your way, and I do think that you're going to have to kind of release your grip on this, because I feel like you've got a really tight grip trying to kind of, you know, control the sails of your ship, if you know what I mean. And I think that that's probably not the best way for you to do this, because I think that's just going to result in things getting a bit tumultuous for a while the universe tries to kind of redirect you. So just release your grip on that and trust that the right things will come to you. I do think that you've got some dreams kind of on their way to coming true here with the heart and the moon. So maybe if you've been imagining your ideal relationship, or you've been dreaming of a relationship or something like that, if you've been feeling a little romantic but you've been trying to kind of tamp that down, let it up, you know, just kind of let that out and allow yourself to daydream a little bit. We do have the number 15 here, so that could be a significant date for people, an age, a lucky number, something like that, but it can also, with number 15, I believe that is the devil card in tarot. So to me, that is just kind of gripping on too tightly and having that turn into toxicity, because you are either obsessed with something or you're sticking to a behavior that's not serving you well, and you're kind of binding yourself to something when you don't need to. You have the power to move forward from it, but you're not allowing yourself to do so. So I think that might be a message for some people. We have the letter G here, so that could be significant for some of you if there's a name coming to mind or something like that. We have the Kali here, so that speaks of loyalty and help. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I do also think that this person coming in for you is someone loyal, helpful, somebody who will just kind of always have your back. Trust yourself to kind of ride the wave and know that you have the power to propel yourself forward, but you don't always need to fully try to control the direction. Because with this tale, it always makes me think of, riding the currents, that yes, you can kind of direct yourself, but the current is stronger than your tail fin will be. So just know that you can kind of release that need to fully direct yourself. You can kind of point in the direction you want, but otherwise just kind of go with the flow and let things happen slowly sometimes with this sea turtle here. Just allow yourself to go with the flow. If you feel like you're pushing too hard and things aren't happening, maybe that's a sign for you to just take a step back for a little while. This is also a good time to kind of clean up a little bit, take care of things that need to get taken care of with this whisk brush. The whisk broom, it always makes me think of just kind of like dusting things off, maybe dust off your intuition, your emotions. If you've kind of packed them away for a while, that's maybe something you need to kind of shine up and clean up again before you feel like you're ready to step into a relationship or meet new people or something like that. But also clean your house, clean your space and kind of make room for new energy to enter your life. This car is just kind of an emphasis on that Chariot card again. So I think, choosing your direction is great, but I think you need to unite your head and heart in one direction in order to move forward more quickly. And I think right now the trouble is that maybe you do not have them on the same page. Maybe your head says one thing while your heart says another, but I think you need to get in touch with your heart space and figure out what it's actually saying, because I do feel like you've maybe shut that down for a while. I also think you need to be honest with yourself with this mask here that speaks of honesty and not putting up a facade for somebody else or even for yourself. I think a lot of us have the tendency to kind of fool ourselves into thinking that we want something other than what we actually want, because what we really want we think isn't good for us, or we're worried about how it might turn out or something like that. It's really out of fear. So just try to be honest with yourself, because I think that will help you move forward in a more stable direction as well. Release things that you no longer need with this white leaf here. Just try not to hold on to things just out of habit or because you don't know what your life would look like without them. Just you might need to let go of some things and not kind of have that death grip on them for so long. Especially, I feel like many of you know what you need to release, what you need to let go of, but you're just having a hard time with it. So this is just a little reminder that letting go oftentimes is less painful than holding on when that thing that you're holding on to is not the right situation for you. I do think that someone is going to try to get your attention, and actually the universe might also be trying to get your attention with this crowing rooster. It always makes me think of kind of like a rude awakening, or someone trying to just get your attention in like a loud kind of obnoxious way, or like just kind of hitting you in the face with something, something sudden that you didn't expect. And I think that is either going to happen with a person coming into your life, or the universe might be trying to kind of shove signs and synchronicities at you, but you're ignoring them because you think that your mind knows better. But in this case, I think your heart and your intuition knows better. So just something to keep in mind. And then with this wrench, I do think that there's a couple things with this. Oftentimes I think of fixing a situation with this wrench, but with this I'm thinking a couple of things. Throwing a wrench into a situation, so something unexpected that kind of throws off your plans. I think that's something that might happen to some of you if you kind of keep your grip on whatever is not meant for you. I think you're going to have to deal with a lot more turmoil and some things kind of throwing off your plans, but also like wrenching yourself away from a situation. I feel like you're having a hard time letting go of whatever this is. So I do think that if you can kind of release that grip on your control and on whatever this situation is that you think is right for you, I think that you'll realize that you feel lighter and freer, and that maybe things will start to align for you after all. So just some things to keep in mind. So group 1, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. Please like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed my video so that you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you again. Thanks for watching. Hi, Group 2. So if you chose this little gnome, then this is your message. So we're going to start with your tarot and oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out what you need to focus on. So for your tarot, you have the Three of Cups, the Hierophant, the Hermit, and the Seven of Wands. So I'm almost getting like a couple different things here, but one thing I'm thinking is maybe you need to kind of take time alone to figure out like what you want, what you're willing to fight for, because with this Seven of Wands, I feel like maybe sometimes you feel like you're kind of on your own fighting against everyone else's opinions or something, especially if you have a mentor or if you're kind of avoiding following the path of some sort of tradition, and maybe you do really care about like what your friends and loved ones think. So I'm just kind of feeling like maybe your focus right now should be on trying to figure out what you want. But let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have Koi Fish Spirit, There Was Always Enough, number 36. Imagine, number 20. Traveling Lightly, Simplify Your Life. Step Out of Your Comfort Zone, North Node. Luck, which says, with a clear direction for what you want to achieve, you're summoning energies that bring good luck. And then finally, you have Dream. Have a cup of tea in the garden and find yourself in a good book. So yeah, I definitely feel like this has to do with you just kind of figuring out what you want. I think maybe you don't have this kind of clear direction for what you want in life yet, and so you feel like luck is not kind of coming your way. Maybe you've been kind of adhering to traditions of your family or your culture or something like that, and I think you're kind of starting to imagine what your life would look like differently. And I think that's a big part of what you need to do and where you need to focus your energy at this time is try to imagine what your ideal life would look like. I think that's why it's suggesting that you take some time out, take time on your own to kind of just think, visualize, meditate, figure out what you want. And then I do think that you need to kind of leave some things behind, simplify a little bit, figure out what no longer serves you and leave those things behind, whether that's friends that don't serve you or a job that isn't right for you, or if you want to go back to school, leave behind things that just don't work for you, habits, behaviors, actual physical objects, places, whatever that is. Just recognize you might have to leave some things behind. And then I do think that you have to kind of be brave and step outside of your comfort zone in order to kind of move towards whatever it is that you want. I think that you're maybe worried about not having enough, not being enough for this situation, but this koi spirit is saying there is always enough, and koi fish is also a symbol of good luck as well. So I do think that you have good luck coming your way, but in order for that to come in, you have to figure out what it is that you want, because I think if you're still in the place of not knowing what you want, that energy is kind of scattered and that focus isn't there. So even if what you wanted came to you, I think you wouldn't necessarily recognize it. So I do think you need to kind of take time to daydream, just think about what you want, figure out what your dreams are and what would really fulfill you, what would make you happy, what feels right to you, like in your gut, at your core, what is the life that you want to live. And I think that that's really what you kind of have to figure out right now. Because I think you need to maybe leave behind other people's opinions. I feel like maybe you always kind of feel like you're standing alone or you have everyone against you. With the Seven of Wands keeps kind of standing out to me. So I feel like maybe you're even dealing with like kind of a frenemy situation where you have a group of friends, but maybe they don't support you. So maybe that's one thing is you need to kind of invite in new energy to bring in the right people into your life who will be supportive and who will be kind of on your wavelength instead of always kind of trying to bring you down. But I would like to see what your charms have to say. So we are going to use the heart to figure out what's at the heart of the situation. So group 2, what do you need to focus on? So yeah, in the heart we have these 2 tennis rackets. So I feel like that's kind of making me think of competition, or maybe struggling to kind of fire back at people who are firing things at you. You know, I'm thinking of those like tennis ball machines that just shoot the ball at you out of nowhere, and like you have to be ready for it to hit back. So I feel like maybe you struggle standing up for yourself or defending yourself if what you want to do is not kind of the traditional route for people to go down in your culture, in your family, in your group of friends, whatever that is. And you also have the spider here, which is just a reminder that you have the capability to create your own reality. You're able to kind of weave the web that you want to weave. You know, you don't have to just do what everyone else is doing. You can create your own life if you want it to be that way. You do have more symbols of good luck. So you've got this 4-leaf clover. So yeah, I definitely think that you've got a lot of good luck coming your way. I think you need to trust that that good luck will come to you if you just get kind of straight in your head what you want to achieve. Because I feel like maybe you're kind of confused because you've got conflicting energies and ideas from other people, that maybe you're having a hard time separating out what it is that you want compared to what's expected of you. You do have peace, so I think that that's definitely recommending you to kind of take some time out, get away from people, just take time on your own to kind of be at peace, still your mind, figure out what you do want. You know, I think it's suggesting to meditate or sit outside, go for a walk, do whatever you need to do to clear your mind so that you can kind of get focused on what it is that would make you happy, or what direction you even just want to venture in. Because I feel like maybe you haven't moved in a new direction at all, so you're not even sure what you want, and you just need to kind of be in that exploring phase. So just recognize that that's okay too, but just get kind of focused in your head as to which direction you want to start to move in. You've got Capricorn energy here, so that could be your sign or a significant sign for someone around you, but it also can just refer to ambition and kind of career-oriented energy. So I think it might be like a career direction that you want to move in, or something that you're feeling ambitious about. Maybe you do have great ambition, but you just don't know how you want to direct it yet. And so that's just kind of supporting this energy of you can do anything that you want if you just kind of imagine it and do the work to get there. You have the sun here too, so I do think that a positive outcome will come for you, and I think that you'll get clarity on what you want as well, as long as you just take that time alone. You've got this lone wolf here who's howling at the moon, so I do think just to take time alone, kind of commune with the universe, if that makes sense, you know, whatever that is to you, if that's meditation, if that's praying, if that's just being out in nature, whatever you need to do to just still your mind and kind of connect with that part of you that knows what it wants. I think that you just need to find kind of that energy in you to figure out what you want so that you can move in that direction. I think you also need to be patient with yourself with this turtle that just talks about going with the flow and kind of slow and steady movement. So I think just recognize that it's not going to be an overnight process. So just be patient with yourself and recognize that you might even kind of start off slow, but then you might grow by leaps and bounds afterwards, because we do have Tigger here. So that makes me think of kind of like quick, excited movement and things kind of jumping forward, but it also just has to do with excitement and enthusiasm as well. So I think if you start finding something kind of in your mind or in your soul that just starts to excite you a little bit, that you're like, yeah, that I could see myself doing that, and you start feeling that excited energy, that might be a sign for you that says, yes, this is the right thing for you to do, so pursue that. You do have the dragonfly here too, which is another symbol of good luck. It also has to do with transformation. So I think just, transforming from what everyone expects of you into this kind of new energy of maybe who you truly are. Maybe you feel like you have trouble being authentic. And I think finding your authenticity and then expressing that is going to make you feel a lot more fulfilled in your life. I do think let your heart kind of point the way, because we've got this little heart thing that says yes, maybe, and no, and it's pointing towards yes. So I think whenever your heart kind of knows what direction it wants to go in, I think that is like a little sign for you, like, yep, my heart is like feeling full and at peace and everything. So I think just finding a way to move towards whatever your heart is feeling enthusiastic about will really lead you in the right direction. I think watch out for some signs and synchronicities as well, because this is my symbol for signs and synchronicities from the universe. So I think that that will support you. So if you're just feeling completely lost and like you don't know what direction to move in, kind of keep a lookout. You know, like for me, I see feathers all the time. That's kind of one of my signs. And then some people, it's like song lyrics that really resonate with them, or coins on the ground, or certain animals, you know, just whatever it is for you, just kind of, you know, keep an open mind. And then I think you'll be surprised by what you discover. You do have the night energy here. So yeah, that definitely has to, sorry, I need to clear my throat a second. But it has to do with movement and just finding the direction you want to go in and then moving forward. And I'm seeing kind of like a Knight of Wands energy with Tigger as well, and then a Knight of Pentacles where it's a little bit slower and steadier with that turtle, but the Knight of Pentacles always gets where he wants to go. So I think just make sure that you're moving steadily, but don't be afraid to be a little more enthusiastic if that's what you're feeling like you need to move towards, you know. And I think listen to your intuition as well. And for some of you, this might have to do with love, because this is the Ace of Cups. So that has to do with kind of emotion and sometimes romantic love. It can do with any kind of love, creativity, your intuition. And then we do have this love heart here as well. So it could be a relationship that you're kind of wanting to move in, or you're feeling like you're expected to move in one direction, or you feel like maybe you feel like you have to choose between love and your ambition. But just know that that's not the case. You can have it all. I think this is just saying you can have it all. Just listen to your intuition and listen to your heart in these cases, and I think that that won't lead you astray. So group 2, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because that way you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi group 3, so if you chose this little owl, then this is your message. So we're going to start with your tarot and oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out what you need to focus on. So for your tarot, you have the Tower, 10 of Cups, and Temperance. So with that Tower, I feel like either something has recently happened that's kind of shaken up your life, or something is about to happen, or you're worried about this. I'm getting the word catastrophizing in my head, so I wonder if you're just worried that something horrible is going to happen, and you need to maybe kind of get the anxious thoughts in balance with this kind of energy of emotional fulfillment and happiness and joy. So that's kind of one message, but I also think maybe this is you trying to find your fulfillment after something shook up your life, and you're needing to find balance, moderation, and just be patient with yourself as you kind of move into a new phase in your life. But let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have Parrot Spirit, watch your words, number 45. Blessed, number 22. Choosing your path, all is possible. Joy and delight, open your heart to joy. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. Nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Patience, which says nurture the seeds of patience and reap the rewards of personal achievement. And then finally you have Weed, which says don't tolerate less than you deserve. So I'm getting a lot of messages here about what you deserve. Like I feel like maybe you are kind of feeling like the things that you want will never happen for you. You'll never feel emotionally fulfilled. And you kind of need to work on getting those kind of intrusive thoughts under control and just recognize that good things can happen for you, even if that's not the state of your life right now. We've got blessed here. So I do think kind of recognizing how blessed you are, kind of reconnecting with things that you're grateful for might help you. And then recognizing that all things are possible, because we've got this, all is possible and nothing is yet set in stone. So I feel like if you're worried that you're heading in a direction that you're not happy with, that you feel like your life doesn't feel like how you want it to feel, or you're moving in a direction you're not happy with, I do think that you need to realize you can change your path and that nothing is just concrete right now. You can change it, you can adjust, just kind of reconnect with what you want and know that you have the ability to get there. And then focus on what brings you joy and delight. And with this 10 of Cups as well, that also makes me think of joy and delight. So just open up to those good feelings. You know, when you have those really great days that just feel like nothing is going wrong, even if things happen, you know, I feel like everybody has days where it feels like everything's going wrong, but just pay attention when you have days where it feels like nothing goes wrong. You know, everything is pretty good, even if it's not, you don't feel like you want to sing for joy. If it's just feeling pretty good, you feel content and just kind of good with where your life is at, pay attention to that and kind of find out what's making it feel like that, and maybe see if you can repeat that, you know, on a day-to-day basis. You know, try to infuse your life with more things that bring you joy. And then I do think this energy of self-worth is coming through as well, with this you are good enough, and then don't tolerate less than you deserve as well. I think just recognize that you can kind of expect more of other people if you're feeling like people are not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated. Recognize that you can adjust that. You don't have to put up with that kind of behavior. You can adjust that. I think maybe you're worried that you are not good enough for the things that you want to happen. I'm wondering if you feel like things are always going wrong for you. You know, with this tower, maybe you feel like your life is just one giant tower card where you just feel like it's catastrophe after catastrophe. But then the problem with that happening is that then it's easy to kind of retrain your brain to only look for those bad things and to ignore the good things that are coming your way. So I feel like just recognize that you are good enough for things to change, for good things to come to you, and you just have to maybe pay more attention to those good things when they come in. You know, everybody has the anxious thoughts and feels like things go wrong at some point, but just make sure that you keep it in moderation with this Temperance card, because we've got, you know, the cupcakes and a martini and everything on this side, but then we've also got carrots and water, and she's trying to kind of stay in balance. So just everything in moderation. You know, when you feel like you're leaning more towards the negative, maybe put in a little bit more of a conscious effort to be more positive. And then if you feel like you're being overly optimistic to the point that you're ignoring reality, maybe kind of come back down to earth. You know, just kind of, that's always in flux. You know, you just have to kind of find that right blend on each day to figure out what kind of is the right thing for you to do at that point. And then with this parrot spirit, watch your words. I feel like maybe you engage in negative self-talk a lot, and that's kind of going off of what I was saying, that you tend to focus on the negative too much. So whether that's what's happening in your life, or maybe you feel like people aren't treating you a certain way, and so you're starting to kind of internalize that and feel like your worth is now affected because of that. Maybe you're feeling like you are not worthwhile because things have gone wrong in relationships or friendships or jobs. Maybe you feel like nothing's ever going to go right, but just make sure that you're balancing that. You know, make sure that you are also speaking kindly of yourself and kind of saying that yes, things can go right as well, because I feel like maybe it's easy for you to just kind of fall into that kind of anxious spiral of just nothing will go right, you know, nothing will ever get better. But just know that that's not the case. Try to balance that with, hey, what if things do go right? What if things do turn out for me? You know, that kind of thing. And then be patient with yourself as well, because this is going to be a long process, especially if you are changing like lifelong habits. Just know it takes time. So be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, and just recognize that good things are coming to you again. It just might take some time. So just try to stay in balance as that process is engaged. So group 3, we're going to get your charms now. And I am going to use the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 3, what do you need to focus on? Wow. You've got a bunch falling out all at once. So in the heart you have, you have number 19. So that could be a significant date or number for you, but it's also the Sun card in tarot. So I feel like just recognize that good things can come. You just kind of have to open your eyes so that you know when that happens. And then also you have the top hat. So a lot of the time the top hat makes me think of self-worth. It makes me think of feeling like you're unworthy of better things. So I feel like maybe you start kind of thinking small about yourself, and then that pulls you down, and then you only go for situations that don't fulfill you because you feel like you don't deserve better than that. So just recognize where you're kind of inflicting that upon yourself. I think sometimes that kind of thing can be self-inflicted. So just recognize when you're perpetuating that cycle and try to halt it, and recognize that you are worth more than that. You do have princess here, so I feel like that's kind of making me think like treat yourself like a princess, and also just recognizing that you don't have to be of a certain status or have a certain amount of money or anything to treat yourself well. I think a lot of people just kind of, again, perpetuate that cycle when they feel like they're not worthwhile, or when they've been told that for a long time. So just know that you can be anyone and still find a fulfilling life. I do think you need to kind of show yourself some more self-love with this heart. And this particular heart is like the overflowing heart. So that always makes me think of just letting the emotion kind of flow out of you. So in this case, I feel like maybe let that kind of negative emotion bubble up, let it out, process it, and then let your heart kind of start overflowing with joy and love for yourself, and start kind of talking yourself up, even if it's only to yourself. Just recognize your self-worth and start verbalizing that as well. You have time here as well, which just kind of emphasizes that message of patience. Be patient with yourself and be patient with this process, because it will take time. It's not an overnight process here. You have optimistic, which is the Sagittarius zodiac sign. So you could be a Sagittarius, or someone in this situation could also be a Sagittarius. But it also just says, be optimistic, try to focus a little more on optimism and thinking, hey, what could go right? Not focusing so much on what could go wrong. You also have the sun here, so that's just a repeated message for that. I do think just kind of recognizing that things can go right. Your dreams can come true. We've got this star here that says, I love you, I love you, I love you. So I'm wondering if many of you feel like you don't deserve better in love, because we've got that. We've got this little kind of heart lock with the key here. And then this love heart that I mentioned. So I'm wondering if you kind of have been blocking off your heart because you feel like you don't deserve better, and you still dream of it, you still want it, but you just feel like, oh, it's never going to happen for me because I don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough, people won't choose me, that kind of thing. So just try to recognize when you do that to yourself and stop that talk in its tracks, kind of turn that around and go, hey, why wouldn't people choose me? I'm insert positive trait here, I think that would kind of help to just talk up your good qualities and recognize that you can have better luck. Just, be patient and try to focus on the positive. And I think that the more you focus on it, the more that will come your way. We've got the cat that's kind of the affectionate cat here. So I feel like somebody affectionate can come into your life. I think maybe you're kind of craving that affection. So if you have other people in your life that are loving and supportive, turn to them as well, because I think that can kind of help balance things out. Even just verbalize your need for affection at times, but try to do it in a kind way, because I feel like sometimes when we're feeling like nothing good will happen for us, when we just try to voice our needs to other people, we can come off more defensive and attacking just because of the pain that we're in, rather than trying to be kind, like extra kind to others. That our feelings about ourselves can kind of come through in how we treat others. So just be conscious of how you talk to other people. That kind of goes with that watch your words message as well. I do think that you have the capability to transform your life, transform your self-esteem, and move it into a better phase. So just recognize like when you're doing things that feel good and when you're doing things that are just perpetuating that negative cycle. I do think you have to be patient with yourself with this turtle, recognize that it will take some time, but just try not to rush it, just know that this good luck is coming to you. I think it's easy to just dismiss it and say that nothing good will ever happen, but just seriously focus on those little good things and just keep kind of trying to focus on that, because I think that will kind of help bring you more into balance. And just try to kind of, this dream catcher always makes me think of, just literal dreams, but as also catching those negative thoughts before they kind of get internalized and trying to replace them with more positive phrasings of the things that we want to say. So even just if we're saying like, oh, nothing good ever happens to me, or nobody ever loves me, or I'm, never going to get the romantic life that I want, it helps to just kind of rephrase it to say, I'm frustrated because I haven't achieved this yet. Adding that yet sometimes is just enough to kind of move into a better period of time. Just to focus on the fact that, yes, maybe it hasn't happened, but it can, opening up the future for that to happen anyway, even if it hasn't happened up to this point. So just recognize that you are so capable of better coming in, but you just have to start believing that in yourself, and I think that you'll be surprised by how much things can change. So group 3, I hope that this resonated. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you can see when I've posted new videos. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.